Oh, come on. Seriously? Again? Bloody hell. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. The flat tire can happen to anyone. Actually, I'm 100% sure that most of you had at least once in your motorcycle life a flat tire. And if you didn't have, I'm sure you're gonna get one sooner or later. And when you run out of the air in a city, there is no problem. You can call your friends or you can call the AAA or whatever it's called in different countries and they just gonna help you. But what if you are somewhere in the middle of nowhere and there is no one to help you? Of course, when your tire blows up completely on the road, there is nothing you can do about it. You just need to replace the tire. But sometimes you're just gonna get a puncture from a nail, screw, or like it happened once to me on the beginning of my motorcycle career in France, where I catch the piece of stick. The stick was so sharp that he went directly into the tire and the air was immediately gone. In this case, you can of course fix the tire by yourself. All what you need is a plug kit like I have here. So, two simple tools to clean the hole and to insert this rubber plug, which is basically some sticky rubber. And of course in this set comes as well the glue for the rubber, which I don't have it here, but I have it in my toolkit. But of course to fix the puncture you need a little bit more than just the plugs. You need the compressor that you can inflate your tire after plugging in. Until now I did use this small compressor. And I use it because it's small, it's very light and doesn't take much space in my luggage when I'm traveling. It's a very simple compressor. It has a nanometer. It even has a light, and of course it has this connector, the ventil connector, but there is a few problems with it. First of all, it is working very slowly. To inflate the tire takes quite a lot of time. And another problem is you need to connect this compressor with cable to 12 volt. And you can do that in two ways. There are two possibilities to do that. First is this lighter plug connector. So you just connect those two cables and then you stick into the lighter power hub in your motorcycle. But the problem is each time I do that and I start the compressor, it's just blowing the fuse and I cannot do anything. So the only options for me is to use the other connector with which you can basically connect the compressor directly to the battery. And when you're riding alone in a city, for example, it is quite easy to do. But when you're traveling with a bike full of luggage, you of course need to remove your seat. To do that, you need to remove all your luggage. So it takes quite a lot of time. So it is a pretty good thing, but not perfect. But lately I discovered something that maybe it's better, and it's wireless. So I was approached by INNoVV, the company which is pretty much known from their dash cams for the motorcycles, smart screens and other things like, for example, this power hub. This video is sponsored by INNoVV, which sent me this power hub and this tire inflator so I can test it and make a review for you. Of course, if you'd be interested in buying these products, you will get some discount. More information about that in the end of this video. So without further ado, let's see what's in the box and let's compare with my old compressor. We'll see which one is better. So I'm going to open the box, which is very nice. Very good packaging, and inside there is the tire inflator, which has an aluminium case, lightweight aluminium case. It's not very heavy. I will weight them both later so we compare the weight of them. It has a display, it has some buttons to do all the settings, it has a light, and it has two ports, a USB port and USB-C port, and of course it has this port for connecting the compressor hose. It's very well made. That's not only the compressor, so that's not only tire inflator. It's a lamp. This lamp has two colors, red and white. So white you can use in the dark, and it has SOS function with the red light. So if you are in trouble, you can switch on the SOS light and wait for help. And of course, you can inflate the tires, which is most important here. Inside the box we have as well accessories, USB-C cable for charging, because this tire inflator has internal battery, so you can charge it and you can just use it without any cables like here. So I don't have to remove all my luggage if I'm on the road and I have a flat tire. So USB-C, and of course we have a compressor hose, which is a bit different than this one in this compressor, because here is the screw. So connecting the hose to the ventil on the rim, it's not that easy. You have to turn this a few times. This one is much easier because you can just push this lever and it will be connected. Another thing that is included in the set are these different kind of connectors. You can use this compressor for other things, like for example for the bicycle with the bicycle ventil, or for the football, and then you need to use this needle, and some other stuff like for example, I don't know, mattress or something else. So there is 4 different connectors in a set. Because it has internal battery, it needs to be charged. But of course I did it earlier, so it is fully charged. I can connect my compressor hose, and now we are theoretically ready to inflate some tires, which we're gonna do in a second. First I'm gonna show you how it works. So first of all I'm gonna switch it on, which is the button in the middle. Just press and hold, and in a second we have a display with pre-installed pressures for different things. For a car, motorcycle, bike, football, or free setting where you can set yourself what you like. Before I start with inflating the tires, I will test first the light that we have here. To switch the light we need to use this button on the top, and we have a white LED light. Let's see how it works in the darkness. So it is completely dark. Let's switch on the light. Well, it's not super strong, but I can find the ventil and I can inflate the tire in the darkness. If I press this button again, we're gonna get the red SOS flashing light. And when I'm gonna press again, we're just gonna get simply flashing red light. It has internal battery, which means that I can use this as a power bank. And let's try this with my phone. All what you need to do is press the button and turn it on, and insert USB or USB-C cable, depends which one you're using. And my phone is already charging. So it is working pretty good. And when you disconnect the USB cable, it will turn off automatically. Of course, main function of this device is inflating the tires. So it's basically a compressor with extra things. So I think it's time to test how fast I can inflate the tire in my bike. I don't have any puncture, I just deflate my tire. And today I'm using my Honda. And the reason for that is Honda doesn't have tire pressure sensors. In my Kawasaki versions I have a sensor, so it's a bit difficult to inflate and deflate tires. So I'm going to test it on my Honda. The problem with my old compressor is that it has very short hose. So it is quite difficult to attach because you need to turn this screw. And when you do that, it's just hanging and bouncing against the rim. And when you turn on, it's vibrating as well, so this is not very handy. I think the INNoVV Tire Inflator will be much easier. I can just set on the ground, and with this clamp is much easier to attach to the ventil. Just like that. So I need 2.5 bar in this tire. When it reaches this pressure, it should stop automatically. And I'm gonna as well measure with my phone how long it will take to reach that pressure. So let's go. So it did stop at 2.5 automatically. And I can tell you the hose is a bit warm. It's not hot, it's warm. But the compressor itself is cold. Because it has quite good cooling system. There are here holes in the shape of INNoVV, so the company name. Some holes on the underneath. So what I'm guessing, there is just an extra ventilator that circulate air around the compressor and it's keeping cool. And that's working pretty good. To inflate this tire to 2.5 bar, it took 2 minutes and 36 seconds. Of course, I'm gonna do it a few times and we'll see if each time I will get the same time, and we'll see how many times I can inflate with one battery charge. Right now I have still 2 bars, so I used 1 bar, and I already tried this compressor twice and I did use the light. So let's deflate again and let's inflate again. Let's do it a few times, we'll see how much energy it takes to inflate the tires. So I did inflate my tire 4 times. Each time it took between 2 minutes 30 and 2 minutes 40 seconds. So I'm guessing the rear tire it will take around 3 minutes because it's a little bit bigger and it needs a little bit bigger pressure, 2.9. So automatically the inflating time will increase. After 4 times using the compressor, it is a little bit warm, but it's not hot. I still have 2 bars, so I used 1/3 of the power. 4 times, each time 2 minutes 30, let's say 2 minutes 40 seconds. So I was using it for about 10 minutes and it still has 2 bars. So I would say that's pretty good. It's time to try to inflate different things like a bicycle, a football or a car, which has much bigger tires and needs much more air and pressure. So we know now that I can inflate the tires on my bike, which is for me most important. But of course it is possible to inflate other things thanks to the different connectors that are in a set. But first let's try to inflate the tires in my bike. Let's see how fast this INNoVV pump can do it. Fortunately I have a car ventils on my bike, so I'm gonna use the same car adapter that I used for my bike. So I can set the pump for a bicycle, and then there is pre-installed pressure 2.4. I think 2.4 is a bit too much because that's an old bike and old tires. So I'm gonna do 2 bar and let's see. Okay. And it stopped at 2 bar. And now let's try the same on a real wheel. And here we go. And it stopped automatically on 2 bars. Okay, let's see if I can inflate my football. It's a very old football, so I don't know if I will succeed, but let's try. So I need a needle, which is that thing. I need to insert this in here, close that. 0.6 bar is for the football. Okay, the needle is in and I have nothing. And I have 0.6 bar in my football. Oh. Okay, let's see if I can inflate my car tire, which is deflated now, and I need 2.5 bar. We'll see if that is possible, and I will measure how long it will take. So, let's do it. So unfortunately I didn't succeed, guys. I started inflating the tires with 2 bars, so it wasn't fully charged, and it did inflate my tire to 2.05 bar, and it stopped. It just doesn't have energy anymore. As I mentioned, at the moment I did get to 2.05 in about 8 minutes. So I'm guessing you need about 10 minutes to inflate 2.5 bar in a car tire. Still going. Let's try again. 2.1 bar. Let's try again. Well, that is interesting. Okay, I thought the battery is empty. But it's still going, it still has 1 bar, so I think there was another issue. What I think after 8 minutes the compressor, the engine of the compressor went too hot or something, and it just switched off. And when I was talking to the camera, when I was keeping it in the hand, I saw that the timer here on the display was going backwards. So I'm guessing it was waiting until the compressor engine cooled down and I can still use it again. And I did get 2.5 bar in this car wheel. So it is doable, but it takes quite a lot of time. I decided to try again with the car tire. I have here another wheel, and this wheel is not burdened with the weight of the car, so there will be less pressure in the tire, I think. I'm charging the compressor. It's not fully charged yet, but I'm gonna give a go. So let's see what's gonna happen this time. So after 7 minutes it went off. I'm guessing the compressor get too hot, and as you can see on the display it's counting backwards. So I think it needs about 2 minutes break to cool down. So whatever I do, I don't think it's possible to inflate a car tire with 2.5 bar in one go. It's just not doable. When I press now, it's not happening anything. So we have to wait until the countdown goes to 0. So the countdown is almost over. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Now I can start again. I have 2.2 bar. Let's go. And here we are. Stop. So it took 8 minutes 22 seconds, but that's excluded the break for cooling the compressor. So definitely 10 minutes to inflate the car tire. So this tire inflator, I wouldn't advise to buy it for car tires. It's just not strong enough. It takes too long, and yeah, it just doesn't work for these big tires. But it works pretty good with the motorcycle tires. Testing is done. It is time for some conclusions. And of course I will compare this tire inflator with my old compressor. And first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna weigh them both. And we'll see which one is heavier. Because for me, as a motorcycle traveler, the weight of my luggage is very important. So I just need to check if it is worth to buy and take with me this INNoVV Tire Inflator. Of course, I have my kitchen scale. I don't have any other, but that's good enough. I'm gonna start with my old compressor. So this is the compressor with all the accessories and the bag or pouch or whatever you want to call it. I forgot to mention earlier, but INNoVV have as well this thin pouch in a set, so you can protect your tire inflator from scratchings, dust or anything else. So I'm gonna weight both of them with all the accessories and the packaging. And I will start with my old compressor. And the total weight of this compressor is 402 grams. But I want to be 100% fair here, so I'm going to do that very thorough. So I cannot use this compressor as a power bank, which I can do with INNoVV Tire Inflator. So for travel I need to take this compressor and the power bank. And I have this very small 100 watt power bank, which I have always with me. So I think it is only fair if I weigh compressor and this power bank together. So let's see what is the weight of both of them. And the total weight of the compressor and the power bank is 610 grams. Let's weight now the INNoVV Tire Inflator / power bank / light. So the case, the tire inflator, hose, USB cable and all the accessories. And the total weight is 621 grams. So the difference is 11 grams. But actually I don't need to take with me this USB cable because I have a few other USB cables which I use for charging my cameras and other things. So this is not necessary. And then I have 603 grams. So 7 grams less than this set. But I'm not gonna look for every gram. Let's say that it is more or less the same weight. Now the packaging size, well, INNoVV is much thinner than my compressor, but it is a bit longer. But I think if I would measure the cubic centimeters, INNoVV would be a little bit smaller. I think it is pretty handy thing. So what you are getting is actually pretty nice, pretty good quality product, which is very handy, not very heavy. It is working very good with small tires, soccer balls and that kind of stuff. It is working as well with the car tires, but I wouldn't say it is for cars. It has its own battery, so you can just charge it and use it. And that means as well that it is wireless. And unfortunately this one is it not. So each time I need to use the compressor, I need to remove quite a lot of things from my bike to get to the battery. So this is much easier to use. Of course we have a light, which is handy as well. And we can use the SOS thing or use the red light if your bike, for example, broke in the middle of the night. So that's pretty handy. And of course you can charge things like your phone, cameras or whatever else. So I would say it's a pretty good combination. As I mentioned on the beginning of this video, you will receive a discount if you want to buy this tire inflator or any other products from INNoVV. Because INNoVV is not making only this tire inflator, they make quite a lot of other things, like for example this power hub, which you can safely connect up to 5 accessories on your bike without worrying that your battery is not protected and it will be damaged by uncontrolled use of energy from your accessories. They make as well very high quality motorcycle dash cams, a motorcycle blind spot detection, so-called third eye, smart monitors, navigation with the cameras and many more bigger or smaller motorcycle accessories. All of that you can get 10% discount if you use code ANNA in the checkout at the INNoVV store, or if you use the links that are in the description of this video. I did receive as well proposition from INNoVV to test their smart screens, but I said that I'm not gonna do it because I already tested some screens, and from my statistics I can see that people are less and less interested in the screens. So I won't be reviewing any more screens on my channel. Okay, I think it's time to end this video. I think that I did all the tests that were necessary. Personally, I think it's a good product and I can recommend it to everybody. I'll be using this for sure, and I'm gonna retire my old compressor. Of course, I will see how this thing will perform with time, and if after some time I'll still be happy with it, then that will be my travel companion for, I hope, many trips. Okay, if you have any questions, of course you can ask me in the comments. I will try to answer all of them. It's not always possible, but I will do my best. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. If you like my channel, you can support me by clicking super thanks button underneath the screen, or you can buy me a coffee. All the informations about that are in the description of this video. For now, thanks for watching guys, and of course see you in the next one.